Good evening, everybody. Welcome to JPR Season 7, Round 5. We're at the halfway point of the season. What an eventful season it's been so far. On the track and in the lobby. Of course, today we're in Bahrain. .4 kilometer circuit, one of the longer tracks on the calendar. We already have two cars out on track. It's the two Aston Martins, one of the Ferraris joining them out on track, getting out there pretty early. It seems like we have just the 15 runners, so unless that increases and anybody joins in Q1, means no one should get eliminated from this session. Of course, Bahrain was the first of the tracks in the Middle East, and then it's been followed by a smattering of others. Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and if rumors are to be believed, in 2026, Dubai. We ride with the Aston Martin. Nostromo is going to be the first man over the line. He will give us our first benchmark of the night. As you can already see there on your screens, we've got 3 cars on outlaps on intermediate tyres. Obviously there is no rain on circuit, and I doubt there'd be any rain in the predictions. This is just to save an extra set of tyres. Only 15 runners, no one should be eliminated. So keeping that extra set of softs. For later on in qualifying. A lot of drivers on outlaps. Heno on a fast lap. Nostromo on a fast lap. Staffy on a fast lap. Those were the 3 initial cars to leave the pit lane. Staffy goes over the line first. He sets a lap time of 1:33.0. It is provisional pole. We'll see what his teammate can do. He's about to go over the line. Nostromo second, 1:34.6. Obviously these times, like I mentioned, not too important. Nobody will be eliminated as things stand. So a lot of drivers not seeing the need to waste a set of softs. We have the judge going out on a set of mediums. Championship leader Shane is not with us tonight, so good opportunity for the drivers behind to close up the championship a little. So Shane leads the championship on 91 points. In second place is Pantry Star, which is another driver that is not here tonight. He's on 52 points. And in third place, Pampun on 48 points. So this race could be very important to him in closing that championship gap. Rota has gone over the line on a set of intermediates, 135.9. Akmagozi, 137.2, also set of intermediates. I suppose the battle of the intermediates, Pampun would be fastest on a 135.9. But fastest lap overall so far goes to Alpine. Top Gun, 132.7. Staffy now retiring from the session. He knows no one's getting eliminated, so he's had enough. Sometimes retiring early on in one of these sessions is the best thing to do. Sometimes you go out there and try and improve on your lap and end up leaving the circuit and then take no more part in the session. Just getting out of shape there a little bit on the exit. Almost had a moment. Fastest man on the night so far, Mercedes-Benz RZDV 131 flat. Almost certain we're going to see these times come down dramatically in the next session when there is a risk of falling out. Top 11 now have done lap times. We're still waiting for a lap time from Natsumi and Wezo. They sit in the pits, as does Kev. I believe Kev will not take part in Q1 as he is joining us for the first time, and as a result has a quali ban. Good evening, Staffy. Welcome to the comment section. Welcome to the stream. See, you've had enough of Q1. Both Aston Martins have had enough of Q1. Parking up the car and getting ready for the next session. Atmagozi also now retiring from the session. Still waiting for Terra Venom to set a lap time in the Haas. 4 drivers yet to set lap times. That is Natsumi, Wezo, Venom, and obviously Kev, he will not be setting a lap time. Evening to everyone who is watching. Thanks for joining the stream. Much appreciated that I don't have to talk to myself. Natsumi on an out lap, also just on a set of intermediates. Just saving an extra set of tyres. Wezo on an out lap, Natsumi on an out lap. We have the judge out there, currently 5th place. He's done 3 laps on that set of mediums. Seems like he's using the session as a practice session. Doing a few laps. Very quiet session for the time being. Lots of cars in the pits. Lots of cars retired already. Ride with Natsumi. But he is on a set of intermediates, so don't expect him to light the timesheets on fire. Well, I have to answer myself if no one answers me. I'm not sure where Shane is because unfortunately I haven't been up to date with the group, but apparently he did make it known earlier on in the week that he would not be available. Last driver we're still waiting for a lap time from. It's the Williams driver, Wezo. He is on his fast lap. Natsumi has picked up a 5 grid place penalty, according to that message. It's right on board now with Wezo. Get a feel for where this lap is. Goes around the final corner now onto the main straight. Time to beat is a 1:31 flat. And he's beat it. A 1:30.7, very nicely done. And that is provisional pole. And probably the fastest time we're going to see in Q1. As I say that, the second Red Bull does go out on track. Don't think we will see a lap time from him. Haas just coming into the pits. And Natsumi just trying to break his gearbox. Only driver out on track at the moment is this car here, Red Bull. Dan Rietveld, currently in 10th place, 1:35.5. And surprisingly, he is using a new set of softs. Yeah, no, Staffy, you haven't had the best of luck in the last couple of races. Few collisions. And what makes it more frustrating is a lot of them have been really close to the end of the race. Red Bull driver now, Dan Rietveld, starting his fast lap. Previous lap was a 1:35.5 on a set of softs. He has chosen to put on a new set of softs and have another go. Obviously quite a deficit among the top 10. 5 seconds cover the top 10. Sure, we're going to see that come down a lot before the race begins. As things stand, provisional pole goes to Wezo. He has retired from the session. RZDV in second, Venom third, Top Gun fourth, 85th. Ben Rietveld now in Sector 3, looking to improve on that time, currently in 10th place with a 1:35.4. He's going to improve by just one place. He's going to have to find an entire second. Let's see what he can do. Does he improve? He goes over the line and he does improve. Drastically improves. 1:30.5. And that is provisional pole and the bragging rights going into Q2. We still have just over 2 minutes, and we have Venom. He's about to start a quick lap now. He goes over the start finish line. Currently has a 1:31 flat. Just over half a second away from provisional pole. Having one more go at it to see if he can improve. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's out on a set of used soft tires. He is out on a set of used. And then obviously all those times you see on the intermediate tire, those guys are going to have an extra set later on. Steffi, that's a good question actually. You know, I've seen it a lot of times in the stream, and I've actually just wondered: is this why I'm not fast? Is this how I'm supposed to drive? It happens on some cars where it just looks like the guy is hanging in one gear for way too long, or I don't know if it's something on spectator mode side that's broken, but sometimes it just doesn't seem right. Now Venom's going to go over the line, and he does improve from 4th. He goes a 1:30.51, just 100th of a second between the top two. And I think that's going to be that. Very nicely done at the end there. Remember, that was on a set of used softs, so he's definitely got more than that. But back to that one, Staffy, I don't think spectator mode always shows a 100% representation of what's actually happening in the car. Because I've driven these cars and I've commentated on them, and sometimes when I commentate on them, it just doesn't look right. Now we just wait for the session to come to an end. Session has come to an end. We're just waiting for Venom, who's on an in-lap. But when he enters the pit lane, this session should come to an end. And that is the end of Q1. So there are your results. Venom taking provisional pole, Dan Rietveld in second, Wezo third, RZDV fourth, Top Gun fifth. We have AD in sixth, Staffy seventh, the Judge in eighth, Notsumi ninth, Nostromo in 10th, Pampun in 11th, Rotor in 12th, Apmagozi 13th, Kev 14th, and then Heno at the back of that field. Welcome now to Q2, where the stakes are going to be a lot higher than they were in Q1. Obviously we've lost one car. That appears to be the Ferrari of Heno. He has not made it through to Q2. So that means 4 cars risk elimination at the end of 14.5 minutes from now. So you're not going to be able to go around, fool around on intermediates. There is now a chance of elimination. We already have some cars going out on the grid. Staffy and the Aston Martin, always one of the earliest cars out on the grid. We've got 80 out on the grid, as is Rota, Akmagozi and Venom. Nostromo also joining the racetrack. That's the second Aston Martin. Thanks for the confirmation, Steffi. I missed that on my side. Heno crashing out in Q1 means he will start from the back of the grid. Not the worst place to start. We've seen many interesting turn ones. As far as I understand it, we will have a formation lap tonight, but it's going to be a broadcast formation lap. So, as far as I understand that, the drivers won't actually have control of the car over the formation lap. They'll be watching it just as I do. Lots of cars out on track, no times up on the screens just yet. Staffy on a fast lap, Venom on a fast lap, AD and Rota also on fast laps. Many cars on out laps. The 2 Red Bulls remain in the pits, as does the Judge and Top Gun, everyone else out on circuit. Who's going to be the first one over the line? I believe it's going to be the Aston Martin. So we'll ride with the Aston Martin to see what that first benchmark is going to be for Q2. And that's a 131.5. Next over the line will be Venom. And he's going to be followed closely by a McLaren. But Venom, let's see what he can do. Opens up DRS, goes over the line. It's good enough for second, a 133.0. Bro, not sure if that was the time he was looking for. 80 goes over the line, 131.2, sorry. Making him fastest so far. As I say that, an Alpine goes over the line. 130.9, that is your new provisional pole time. Next over the line we're going to have a Williams, that is the Williams of Wezo. Currently no time on the board. 139.6. Something must have gone wrong there, but it's good enough for 7th. We await times from Notsumi. From the Judge, provisional pole now goes to RZDV 130.7. These times continue to come down. Will we see a 129 before the end of the night? Ride with Natsumi on his fast lap. Getting a nice little slipstream here. Pampun has gone second, a 130.9, but that was on a set of mediums. So we know he's got more than that. Open up DRS, and Natsumi goes fastest with a 130.0. And I think I can say with confidence, we are going to see a 129. 80 coming into the pits, as is Apmagozi. Most of the cars having had their first run. Kev has retired from the session due to that quali ban. You ride with the judge. No time from him just yet. Look at those times between second and third, just 0.03 of a second between the two of them. Really close stuff. But now we ride with the horse of the judge, making a rare appearance tonight. He's gone out on a set of mediums. It's good enough for 12th. It's a 139.7, but he's got more than that. Still got a lot of VRS, so I think he gave up on that lap, and he's going to have another run. Ooh, his teammate just getting out of shape in the final corner, but he's diving into the pits. Staffy on another out lap. Currently in 8th place, previous lap time a 131.5. Looking to improve on that, maybe getting himself into the 1 minute 30s. If he wants to get himself into the top 6, he's going to have to get himself into the 1 minute 30s. Still big gaps at the front. 1 second covering the top 6. Wezo dives into the pits. Nostromo looking to improve on that 133.7. Appears he is on an in-lap actually. My mistake. Here is Staffy. He's at the end of his outlap, about to start his second fast lap of the session. His third of the night. Currently 8th place, 131.5. Let's see if he can improve on that. Pampun also out on circuit. I believe that's also on an in-lap. McLaren's having a fantastic time of it so far. And obviously, as far as Constructors' Championship standings go, McLaren leads the Constructors' Championship. By 16 points. So Red Bull need to be at their best tonight. Need to make sure they're both in the points, because those McLarens look pretty quick. Obviously a big gap between first and second, 7/10, but Pampun is on a set of mediums, so don't read too much into that time. See someone else joining there. Thanks for joining the stream, thanks for watching. We're riding on board with Staffy as he goes around the final corner here in Bahrain, and he chooses to dive into the pits. Obviously wasn't going to improve. Probably didn't have enough ERS for a second lap. Decided to dive into the pits. We ride with Apmagozi, currently 9th place, so 132.3. Remember, we do lose 3 drivers. Kev has already retired from the session. Currently those drivers at risk: the judge, Nostromo, and Top Gun has not done a lap time. Out on track, Apmagozi, Venom, Judge, so both Haas drivers out on track, as well as the second Aston Martin of Nostromo. And as I say that, he's just pulled into the pits. Apmagozi activates DRS, goes over the line looking for improvement. Stays 9th, 131.9. Not much action out on track, so we'll ride with Venom. Currently a best lap time of 132.4. It's good enough for 10th place, but 10th place is a risky place to be with 3.5 minutes to go in Q2. Surely the judge has to go back out and have another run. That first run was on mediums, so that extra grip might be able to get him into the top 10. And his teammate, 129.8. We've seen a 129 and it came before I thought it would. I thought it would only come in Q3. It's come in Q2 with 3 minutes remaining, a 129.8 from Venom. Displaces the McLarens from an all McLaren front row. Rota now also retiring from the session, as does RZDB. Top Gun still in the pits, no lap time set. He comes out at the last minute and knocks somebody out of Q2. It's gonna hurt even more. See here in Bahrain, the most race victories by a driver, Michael Schumacher, and most by a team, Ferrari, 5 and 7. No one out on track at the moment doing anything of particular interest, except this horse over here. So he's going to get I think, I'm not entirely sure how many Hamilton has won here. Actually, I was mistaken, Steph. Hamilton has won the most races here. He's won 5. Hamilton has won the most races here. He's won 5 races here. And Ferrari have won the most races as a team. They've won 7 races here. I apologize to the tens of Hamilton fanboys for my error there in stats. Judge going over the line. This is the end of his outlap. He's going to open up DRS, ERS, giving it everything he's got. Needs to improve. Currently in 11th. He will be eliminated if he is unable to improve. In order to improve, he needs to find a lot of time. He's going to have to find himself about 1.3 seconds. That's to get himself into P10, and that will displace Magosi. But he's currently in Sector 2, probably the most technical part of the circuit. Especially this hairpin over here, so difficult, so easy to mess up the entry. Mess up the entry, you're going to have a difficult exit, and that's going to mess up your run down this straight right over here. Fastest part of the race circuit. Personally, this is my favorite part of the circuit. You want to hug that curve on the inside, but you don't want to touch it. Judge goes around the final corner, and let's see what he can come up with. Currently a 133.1, needs a 131.8. And the stream cut right there, so he didn't improve. There we go, confirmation. He stays 11th. And that means Nostromo, Judge, Top Gun and Kev get eliminated. And that leaves us with the top 10. Venom first, 129.8. Only man in the 129s. Then we have Natsumi and Pampun, the two McLarens, in second and third. RZDV fourth. Dan Rietveld fifth. Rota in sixth. Wezo seventh. 88th. Staffy ninth. And Upmagozi making up the top 10. Quite a big gap there in the top 10. Top 10 covered by just over 2 seconds. Oh, is that right, Staffy? You can touch that curb. Well, I've had so many horror stories with that curb in previous games that I haven't actually tried to touch it on this game, so good to know. Now this is where it counts. We're in Q3. It's the top 10 drivers. Let's see what these guys can come up with. We saw 129.8 in Q2. That was the fastest time. And let's see how much further into the 128s we can, into the 129s we can get. Natsumi going out on circuit. If you're still in the stream there, Staffy, just let me know what. I see your name is grayed out. Did you leave? Did you retire? What happened there? We have 8 cars out on outlaps. Pampuna has decided to stay in the pits, and Staffy has decided he's gonna start in 10th. So only 9 cars will take part in this session. All 9 of those cars out on track. Busy circuit. First man out of the pits was the Alpine of Rota. He's going to go around the final corner and start his first fast lap of Q3. And in about a minute and a half from now, those timing screens are going to look very different. Whole smattering of cars now starting their fast laps. We are in Bahrain, we are in the desert, so I don't expect any tricky weather. But how interesting would it be if we had a rainstorm in the desert? Because I can tell you no one's practiced in the rain on this track. We ride with Rota. He's going to be the first man over the line. Pampun, the only one on an out lap. Everyone else is on their fast lap, and Pampun has just begun his fast lap. So all 9 cars actively out on circuit on fast laps. First one over the line is going to be the Alpine of Rota. Let's see what he can come up with. Opens up DRS, and it's a 1:30.2. Really fast time. He's going to be followed over the line by Wezo. Wezo goes faster, 1:32 flat. Then Venom, 1:30.4. Some really close times coming in now. We wait now to see what the McLarens can come up with. We ride with Natsumi. He's about, I was going to say he's about to go over the line, but he's popped into the pits. Wonder if he spent some time off track and messed up those tires, but he's chosen not to put a time in. RZDV goes quickest, 1:30 flat, and the times at the top really close. 1:30 flat for first and second place. Natsumi, like I said, returning to the pits without a lap time. We follow his teammate. His teammate does not dive into the pits. He opens up DRS, goes over the line, and sets the quickest time of the night by half a second, a 1:29.3. That is half a second quicker than the fastest time we saw in Q2. A 1:29.3. And that's what you call throwing down the gauntlet. RZDV 1:33 flat, Wezo 1:30 flat, Wezo 1:30 flat, Rota 1:30.2, Dan Ritfeld 1:30.3, Venom 1:30.4. So really close times if you ignore that time in first place, 1:29.3. Natsumi had a short stint in the pits and he's back out there on an out lap. Knows he needs to set a lap time. Wants to start up the grid there by his teammate. Pampun on the fastest so far tonight, 1:39.3. His teammate will be looking to replicate that and make it an all McLaren front row. Now Natsumi with DRS open on his second out lap of Q3. Obviously never set a lap time, dived into the pits. I don't know, for a second there I wasn't sure. You know, the lobbies have been a little dodgy in recent weeks, so when I saw your name grayed out right at the beginning of the session, I thought either there's a lobby problem or you found the pit wall while trying to exit the pits. But either two looked like possible scenarios. Do we ride with Natsumi? No lap time as of yet. Currently in 9th place. I actually think it was Max Verstappen. I can't tell you when it was, but it was Max Verstappen. He came out of the pits and just had like terrible understeer, and he literally came out of his pit garage and straight into the pit wall right in front of him. Basically broke the wing right next to Christian Horner. Heck, I've even retired from races trying to find the pit entry, but finding the pit wall. Not Shumi setting the timesheets alight. He went purple in Q2. He went purple in Sector 2. He's well into Sector 3. In fact, dives into the pits. Not sure what that was about, but we saw it on the timing screen. He lit up Q2 in purple, in Sector 2 in purple, and he's chosen to come back into the pits. So no lap time from him as of yet. Dan Rietveld and Pompoen both out on circuit on outlaps, looking to improve. Atmagozi has had enough. He's retired from the session, 131.9. If not, Shumi does manage to set a lap time. That means Atmagozi will start in 9th. See Pompoen so far fastest, 129.3. Currently third in the championship. And the two men ahead of him are not here tonight. So great opportunity for him to bring this championship back within reach. All of a sudden we're seeing a bit of lag on the stream. Hope it's nothing serious. And again, not Shumi on another outlap. Those tyres didn't look too great at the start of the lap. Not sure if he took a run through the gravel. But that is that. So he will not set a lap time. And there we go, we have some sort of an issue. Not sure what's going on here, but we have an error and everyone's gone. There we go. So I think that may have been a problem on my side. I'm going to try and get myself back into the lobby. Please just bear with me here as we have what seems to be a problem, but seems to only be on my side. So unfortunately we're going to miss the end of Q3 there. Apologies about that, but we are back right at the end of Q3, so we do get the results. Pompoen 29.3, looks like he's going to hold on to that. We have Dan Rietveld out on circuit. He goes past a stranded Alpine. Not quite sure what happened there. Do apologise for the technical errors a little earlier on. Don't know what happened there, but I've definitely seen some interesting things in spectator mode in this game, and not all of them have had anything to do with the actual racing. Not really sure what's going on here, but as you can see, there are definitely issues. Then Rietveld not able to improve there at the end, and he will remain 6th. So there is your final top 10. Pampun and Nochumi making it an all McLaren front row, and nothing in it in the end. Literally just 100th of a second, really close. RZEV 3rd, Wezo in 4th, Rota 5th, Dan Rietveld 6th. Then we got Venom in 7th, 88th, Apmagozi 9th place, and Staffy not setting a lap time. He will begin in 10th. So everyone watching, stay with us. We'll be back just before the start of the race. And welcome back. So we've
almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on.
Yeah, I'm having a few problems on my side. Please just be patient. I'm going to leave the stream live, so you don't need to look for another link. I'm just going to try and sort this out on my side.
The grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
Here we go, 5 red lights, and we're underway. Pampun leads off. Let's see who's first into turn 1. Is it going to be the Mercedes? Showed his nose and decided against it. So Pampun leads at the front. RZEV 2nd, Wezo 3rd. Dan Rietveld 4th. Apmagozi's made up a position. Nochumi down a position, those two jumping around. If we do have any issues with the stream, issues with the lobby, I do apologize, but yeah, we had a few issues there at the end of quali. Back at the front, Pampun leads the race, 1.3 seconds already the gap. RZDV in second, Wezo third. Do have a yellow flag in sector 3. We'll soon see what that is as Pampun goes. Oh, there we go. That's apparently my car, believe it or not. I don't think I've ever seen that. In all the commentary sessions I've ever done in an F1 game, never has the game for some reason thrown me in a car. Hopefully now things will stabilize. Kev has retired from the session. He becomes our first official retirement. Wonder how long my car is going to sit there in sector 3. Clearly the lobby already playing its tricks. Pampun continues to open that gap, 2.6 seconds now the gap. And the Williams is all over the back of RZDV. Battle coming up now for second place, as well as a battle for third. The Red Bull not far behind, and as these two battle, Red Bull's just going to get closer. So anyone watching, look at my timing screen. Hope this timing screen does sort itself out, because obviously, as you can see, there's apparently cars that are an entire minute behind each other. But for now, seems to have balanced out. Let's see. Hopefully it stays that way. Pampun leads 3 seconds now the gap. Absolutely flying in this race. Cars behind will be begging for a safety car just to close this gap up again. Ooh, and RZDV just getting a little out of shape there. It's going to allow the Williams right onto his gearbox. His lap 3 should have DRS. He does have DRS, and he's all over the back of that Mercedes, but decides against it. Great racing here for second place. Williams doing everything it can to get past RZDV, doing a good job of defense, but how long can you defend when the car behind you is going to have DRS straight after straight after straight? Wezo has got past now, courtesy of DRS. Ooh, and we have RZDV. He's gone sideways. He's gone sideways. He's in the gravel. He's getting back on circuit, and he's going to rejoin the circuit just behind his teammate Akmagozi. Means the Mercs are down in 5th and 6th. Your leader Pampun, that gap almost 4 seconds now. Wezo definitely did have the pace on that Mercedes in front of him, so let's see if he can make some way on this 4-second gap. But in the early stages of this race, Van Poon really running away with things. Safety car needed for some balance. See, there's actually quite a few people watching tonight. Comment section is really quiet though, so if you're not one of the drivers and you're just watching, let me know what you think about the race. Here we go. I was going to say prediction for first safety car, but we have our first safety car. Lap 4 of 29, first safety car. And no one is going to hate that more than the guy at the front who was absolutely running away with things. This will neutralize everything. Van Poon into the pits, as is Wezo, as is not Shumi. Magwazi choosing not to come into the pits. He stays out, as does Dan Rietveld. See what has happened to the second Mercedes-Benz. Almost found himself to the wall there, trying to make his way around the circuit. I don't see any. Oh, there we go, a donut. Well, get back to the pits, get back out there, join the back of the queue and have another go. Anything can happen, still a long way to go. Seems like we have a penalty there on our screen. That is a penalty for Venom. A 5-second penalty, so I'm going to presume that is speeding in the pit lane. It's probably the worst time to speed in the pit lane is under a safety car. Early point in the race, we've already lost 2 drivers. I know your screen shows 3 drivers, but that third driver is me, and I was never supposed to be on the racetrack in the first place. So 2 drivers officially DNFing from the session. That's one of the Aston Martins of Nostromo and Kev in one of the Red Bulls. So the Aston Martin and Red Bull team have both been cut down to just the 1 driver. As I said earlier, leader in the constructors, McLaren. They have a good chance tonight to increase that championship lead by quite a lot. Their 2 main rivals, Red Bull and Aston Martin, down to a driver apiece, while McLaren still have 2 drivers out on circuit. But for now, an Aston Martin leads the race, as you can see. I doubt it's Fernando Alonso in that Aston Martin, or he'd be going a little quicker. Just behind your new leader, Dan Rietveld, you've got Magwazi. You will recognize him as commentator for JPR in your previous seasons. But we did a bit of a switch this season. He wanted to get into the car and I wanted to get as far away from the car as I could. On F1 23, it seems I can't do more than a sequence of 3 corners without spinning. As things stand, race is neutralized. Q has come together. Dan Rietveld leads from Magwazi. Van Poon in 3rd place on a set of hards. He has made a pit stop. Whole mix of tyres on the grid, hards, mediums and softs. Only AD choosing the soft compound. He's at the back of the field in 12th place. Still waiting for some sort of confirmation on the safety car, but yeah, there we go. Safety car is coming in. And there's your restart. Dan Rietveld with the restart gets the jump on the Mercedes, definitely. We have Williams looking for a position. And everyone deciding to just go through in single file for now. No crazy moves at turn 1, and as I say that, Pampun has made his way by. He's got through on Apmagozi almost immediately, and Wezo follows suit. Does Apmagozi defend? Does for a little, but Wezo manages to get past. And now Pampun and Wezo just behind him in a very strong position in this race. Remember, they have done a pit stop. They're on a new set of hard tyres, and that's going to take them deep into the race. If not to the end of the race. Unfortunately, I can't tell you the tyre life of these hards. I haven't done any testing. Seem to have an issue at the back of the field. Not sure what happened there. Everyone seemed to be going very slowly. Cars bumping around. Definitely internet issues on the night, but we're going to do the best we can. Dan Rietveld leads from Pampun, but for how much longer? We're going to the final corner. McLaren has a look, decides against it. He knows there's another straight right ahead of him. He's going to have DRS. Well, not yet. Does Dan Rietveld defend? He goes to the inside. He tries to defend, but at that point the McLaren is already past him. He's going to have the inside into the next corner. And Pampun takes his place in the lead. Wezo doesn't want to get stuck behind the Red Bull for too long. He knows that Pampun can disappear into the distance as he did in that first stint of the race. And he wants to stay as close to that McLaren as he possibly can. But for the time being, Dan Rietveld holds position. McLaren first, Red Bull second, Williams third. Natsumi, he's had an eventful race. He's back up into 4th place. Also staring at the back of that Williams. Looking to make it a double podium for McLaren. It would be great for the Constructors' Championship as far as McLaren is concerned. Not great if you're one of the other teams. Staffy has also come into the pits and put on a fresh set of softs. So he will definitely have to pit again. AD has made quite a few positions in the last couple of laps. He was in 12th, now he's up to 7th on that fresh set of softs. He's going to have the superior grip for the next couple of laps. And that's when you need to make the most of it before those softs drop off. Use them while they're still an advantage. Natsumi now gets past the Red Bull of Dan Rietveld, makes his way up into 3rd place so he can chase down that Williams. Red Bull's not done with him yet. Looked at fighting back, but it seems like that McLaren has made his way past. And now his next target is the blue car ahead of him. That's the Williams of Wezo. And he'll be looking to make it a McLaren 1-2. Venom in the first of the 2 Haas cars in 5th place. Afmagozi briefly in 2nd place. at that safety car restart. He's down to 6th. He's being chased down by the Ferrari. AD currently 7th. He's got the benefit of those softs car ahead of him on a set of hards. Shouldn't be too difficult to get by. He's going to switch out. He's going to open up DRS and probably give it ERS, give it everything, plus slipstream, and there's nothing the car ahead can do. Apmagozi has to throw in the white flag. I surrender. Nothing he can do. AD into 6th place. And for how much longer can he get that benefit of the extra grip before those tires begin to fall off? Natsumi has made his way past that Williams and into 2nd place. We have a McLaren 1-2. Wezo needs to hold on to the back of that McLaren. Can't let them run away. Unfortunately, my car has decided to just stay there in Sector 3, even though there was a safety car and they could have removed it. Well, McLaren 1-2, Williams in 3rd, Dan Rietveld 4th, first of the 2 Haas drivers in 5th, that is Venom. AD in the first of the 2 Ferraris, he's up to 6th. We have in the process also lost RZDV, so 3 retirements in this race so far. 15 began, 12 remain. Big lock up there ahead from Dan Rietveld. Going to allow AD a little closer. Wezo hasn't given up on this battle yet. Not going to let the McLarens run away with it. Or at least not going to let Shumi run away with it. Still within that 2nd. So he is eligible for DRS. And a very important DRS section is coming up next. Needs to stay within the 2nd. 7/10 at the start of the straight, so it might be a little bit too far this time round. But for the time being, Natsumi is doing enough to stay in 2nd. And not letting Pampun get too far up the road. AD doing everything he can to get himself into the top 5. Wonder for how much longer until those tires begin to fall off. Obviously he will have 1 stop to go. Whatever tire he gets onto next, he will probably finish the race with. Atmagozi yet to pit. 11 lap old hards. Only 4 men on track have not done any form of pit stop. That is Dan Rietveld, Atmagozi, Rota, Top Gun and Heno. All 5 of those drivers on aging tyres. 11 laps old. I have quite a number of viewers here tonight, but I presume all of these viewers are on track. The comment section is awfully quiet. Pampun must have made some sort of a mistake, because now we have Natsumi all over the back of his teammate. And he's going to be under pressure. Does he go for the teammate? Because he's got his mirrors full of Williams. Absolutely nothing in it between the top three. See now, Natsumi is in the middle of a DRS train. So it's not going to be that easy for Weza to pass him under DRS, because he's going to have DRS of his own. And what does he do? He goes to the inside, has a look, decides against it. Weza still in third, patiently waiting. Waiting for any sort of a mistake. Waiting for the two McLarens in front of him to engage in a battle so he can make the most of it. Soon he's going to have DRS yet again, and let's see if he can get any closer to these McLarens. It's difficult because Natsumi ahead of him has DRS too. For the time being, it doesn't seem like the McLarens are really engaging in any sort of a battle. They're following each other around. Natsumi going a little bit wider there than he probably would have liked. Still right up there with his teammate. 0.3 of a second is the gap. He's going to have DRS. Is he going to go for it? So close, he absolutely has to. Let's go to TV Pod, see what he's up to. There we go, his teammate goes to the inside to defend. Natsumi goes to the outside, long way around. And Pampun, nicely defended, holds on to it now, but he's going to have to do it all over again, and this time almost side by side when Natsumi got the DRS, and there was nothing Pampun could have done. Pampun down to second. Natsumi leads. Still a McLaren 1-2, but they've swapped positions. Wezo doing a great job. He's still in third place, doing what he can to hold on to the back of the McLarens. Venom in fifth. He's chasing down Dan Rietveld. Not really sure what's going on with our internet connection tonight, but as you can see on screen, we're hearing some really ugly revs. Sounds like everyone's trying to break their gearbox. Back at the front of the race, we still have a battle on our hands for first place. The gap's just half a second, so DRS very much at play. Neither McLaren has a lot of battery life left, so ERS is not going to be able to assist on this one just yet. Now Pampun could potentially repay his teammate. He's going to get DRS. Not close enough. Maybe choosing to stay behind, choosing not to attack. Not really sure what are the plans between the teammates, or even if they're in communication. But at the moment they're driving really well together, and it seems like everything is pretty scripted out. Well, that's how you will win the Constructors' Championship. Just keep that going. AD has made his way all the way up to 5th. If you'll remember, he was in 12th at one stage in this race. So having a good race, an eventful race, a bit of a lock up there into the hairpin. Looking to make his way up the field into the top 4 and possibly the top 3 by the end of all of this. Still so much that can happen. We've seen many times someone seems to be well on their way and sometimes just a few laps to go. They find themselves questioning what happened. So if you're in 5th, 4th, just off the podium, don't lose hope. anything can still happen at the front. Wezo now in a bit of a race of his own. He's 4 seconds back from the 2 McLarens ahead of him. 2 McLarens ahead of him, still awfully close, just 0.4 of a second between the two of them. But not really engaging in any sort of battle. Thanks to everyone who is watching. I think it's the most live viewers we've had on the stream this season. So thanks for all the support. Notsumi leads from Pampun. 0.6 of a second the gap. Further 4 seconds down the road, we'll find the Williams of Wezo having a race of his own. Even more of a race of his own. We have the Haas of Venom currently in 4th place, being chased down by AD in 5th. That gap 7 seconds. 6.9 now. Apmagozi 6th. Briefly in 2nd place, Dan Rietveld 7th. He briefly led the race. He has since come into the pits. He's got a fresh set of hards on that car. Staffy currently going around in 8th place. He's on an aging set of softs. He pit under that first safety car. So the drivers at the back of the field, all on new tyres. Drivers at the front of the field, all on aging tyres. Top 3 are all on a set of hards. So I don't think anyone in the top 3 is going to have any tyre wear issues anytime soon. Venom in 4th, some a set of mediums, 80 in 5th on a set of softs. Good mix of tyres throughout the field. You see all the different strategies. And in some cases it's not even their first strategy. Sometimes damage early on in the race, pit stop you weren't expecting, have to get on a compound you didn't necessarily want to. That's what happened with Notsumi. He went backwards in the field, made that pit stop under safety car, and he's done a fantastic job since then. Completely missed that, but Notsumi seems to have an issue. He's now been passed by the Williams. He has dropped back and we no longer have a McLaren 1-2. Pampun leads the race 4.7 seconds. Absolutely huge gap. Almost as big as it was when we got that safety car. Now Notsumi, we're just going to have a look at that car, see if we can see any physical damage to the front wing, anything like that. Nothing that we can see. But obviously he's dropped back and now doing what he can to hold on to the back of that Williams. If he can get back past the Williams, then there's no damage. If he's struggling to hold on to that Williams, you've got to question what happened. AD emerges from the pits for what I believe will be his final pit stop. He comes out on a set of medium tyres, 4 laps old. Speaking of, we do see an end plate flying across our screens. I'm not sure who that was. It looked like an AlphaTauri end plate, but we don't have an AlphaTauri on track, so maybe a Haas. I'm not sure, but we saw an end plate fly across our screens. Seems like Roto is stuck on track as he was in Q3. Let me know in the comment section if that's just something I'm seeing in spectator mode or if that's an actual problem on circuit. Pampun is still your leader, followed by Wezo in second place, but that gap now becoming insurmountable without the intervention of a safety car. Don't know how he's going to close that gap. 7 seconds the gap at the front. Pampun down to Wezo. Then Natsumi, he's really dropped back from the back of that Williams. 4.5 seconds now. Gotta wonder what is wrong with the car. He's got a set of hards, so it can't be tyre degradation. Those tyres should still have a lot more in them. But he's dropping time to that Williams. So surely there is damage on the car, we just can't see it. Or maybe it's damage we're not meant to see, like underfloor damage. But now the horse right on the back. I think there's something wrong with this lobby. Wezo has come into the pits, and that has promoted the harsh driver of Venom. He's up into second place, but 12 seconds adrift from Pampun. We'll have to see if Pampun responds. Obviously they had the same compound of tyre and the same age of tyre, so maybe looking for an undercut to close that ridiculous 7-second gap. But we'll have to wait and see what Pampun does next time round. Does he dive into the pits and respond to Wezo? Or does he just stay out there? At the moment he's absolutely flying. Doesn't look like he needs a new set of tyres right now. Natsumi 3.4 seconds adrift of that horse in front of him. Doing what he can to hold on, but something seems very wrong with that McLaren. Wezo down to 5th, but he has made that pit stop. So he will regain some ground. Pampun, Venom and Natsumi. I expect all three of those cars to stop. If we just watch the second McLaren of Natsumi, he's on a set of hards 16 laps old. Venom is on a set of mediums 16 laps old. Those mediums should be dropping off by now. And yet the horse continues to pull away. So something clearly wrong with the second McLaren. Nothing of the sort can be said about the other McLaren. Pampun leads by 11.9 seconds. And we await to see what he's going to do next time round. Does he pop into the pits for a fresh set of tyres? And if he does, what compound does he choose? Obviously a set of softs now. Just a few laps remaining would be ideal. Fuel is low. Good opportunity to score the fastest lap of the race. Does he dive into the pits? No, he doesn't. He stays out. Obviously still a lot left in those hards. He doesn't feel a need to go into the pits. What about Venom? Does he go into the pits? He stays out. I think if he can take those mediums to the end, then there's no need for him to come in. Rather hold track position. Second place would be fantastic. Natsumi continuing to fall back from that horse. And holding on to the podium is becoming a little bit more difficult. Man, he's going to have to defend from pretty soon. Is this Williams? Wezo, 2.8 seconds adrift. Just a lap ago he was 4 seconds adrift. So catching the McLaren ahead of him very quickly. And as I say that, Williams has just set the fastest sector 1 of the race. So he's seen that McLaren, he's got a sniff. And that was all he needed. Here we go, DRS open. And he goes around the outside. What a brilliant pass that was. I thought Notsumi had actually defended that pretty well, but then he just swooped around the outside, all the grip in the world. And there we go, folks. It seems we have a broken timing screen. I ask that everyone that's watching stays with us. I'm just going to try and leave the lobby and rejoin because we have a broken timing screen. So I'll be back with you. Give me a couple of minutes.